Hello everybody, my name's James, welcome to the Planet FPL Gameweek 34 Deadline stream, and it's live. Hope you're well. Over the next 55 minutes or so, we'll try and get through as many of your FPL dilemmas as possible ahead of the 11 AM UK time deadline for Gameweek 34, which includes a double for Chelsea and Manchester United, which we care about a lot less. On the screen, please check graphics. If your question already relates to something that's an answer on the screen, please do us the courtesy of deleting it. I'll be very, very grateful. You'll see my team on the screen, top right-hand corner. I have gone Kai Havertz and Eddie Nketiah in from -4 for Ryan Fraser and Wout Weghorst. Captaincy is on Kai Havertz. Below my team, you'll see my top captaincy picks, top 10 in order of preference for this particular game week. I do believe Havertz just over Mount is the best option. I think James, Alonso and Werner are great differential options for captaincy this week. I do not mind if anyone wants to stick it on Cristiano Ronaldo. I think Mo Salah's absolutely fine as well if you believe his single is better than Chelsea's double. I don't even mind if someone wants to stick it on Bukayo Saka or Kevin De Bruyne, to be totally honest. Raheem Sterling is a bit of an out there wild punt, but if he starts, could go off against Watford. To the left of me, you'll see the schedule and correct score predictions for all of the games this week. Please ignore the fact that it's got the wrong days on the schedule. I'll message Captain now. I meant to do that. Never mind. But there'll be my correct score predictions. You'll see an outlandish one for Arsenal, Man United. I don't care. I think they'll destroy United today. Below me, benching dilemmas, you'll see two players together. The player with the tick is the preferred option between those choices, and that will roll round for you across the course of the stream. Page 1 will be Bowen over Nketiah over Coutinho over Pukki over Wood. Page 2 will be Wood over Tony over Mateta over Maddison over Bruno Guimaraes. Page 3 will be Bruno Guimaraes over Martinelli over White over Cody over Cucurella. Page 4 is Cucurella over Schär over Weghorst over Breuer over Dennis. And page 5 with the keepers will be De Gea over Sarr over Ramsdale over Dubravka over Schmeichel. Keep your eye on that. That will continue to spin during the stream. And right at the bottom, you'll see next 5 fixtures for, well, the remainder of the season for all 20 Premier League teams. The fixtures in blue indicate double game weeks. Right, let's get into the questions, I suppose. We're not really bothered at the wrong days on the schedule, are we? Let's just do this. Lintan Bao is first. Says, hey, James, who would you sell out of Ward-Prowse and Kulusevski to get Mount? Wildcard in next week. Cheers and have a great week. Ward-Prowse, quite straightforward. Edwin Guan says, rank them best to worst. Gordon, Ramsey, Keenan, Dewsbury Hall. Thanks, James. Depends what for, mate. Depends on your strategy. But generally speaking, look, in my mind, I'm free hitting 37, so I put Ramsey last. If it's till the end of the season, best to worst, Dewsbury Hall, Gordon, Ramsey. Josh says, hi James, Kulusevski and Weghorst to Mount plus a 4.5 million forward -4. Would then play Martinelli, Breuer instead of the forward, but already on Kai captain, so wouldn't be captain Mount. Wouldn't bother, mate. Praise says, hey James, how's your week been? Yeah, not too bad, thank you. Do you think it's worth a -8 to bring in Ronaldo for Kane? Also, any news on Rudiger, or should I just move him to Alonso? Would also be for a -8. We've got nothing at the moment that's beyond he won't play tomorrow. Whether he'll be back for Man United on Thursday is a guessing game. I'm going to stick with it because I don't think anyone I get is worth a -4. To be honest, if he's going to be back on Thursday, that's what I've decided. There's not enough information, so I'm just going to leave it. I've got a decent first backup in Fabian Schär, so that's the way I'm going to go. Look. Last week, I would have advised people not to go Kane to Ronaldo, and clearly the advice should have been go Kane to Ronaldo. Easy to say in hindsight, of course, but I think same applies now. I wouldn't move it. I still feel the same. Kia says, hi James, and have a good weekend. Wildcard 35 own free Chelsea and Bruno, Rudiger and Ward-Prowse to Matip and Havertz for a hit, or 1 FT Ward-Prowse to a 7 million mid and hope Rudiger plays. Look, I'm sitting there. To be honest, I'm not bothered if he plays or he not. There's plenty of people who think you should have Schär at Norwich instead of Rudiger at Man United. Well, I actually think Newcastle might get beat today, but I still think it's a decent first backup. So, Rudiger and Ward-Prowse to Matip and Havertz for a hit. Yeah, I mean, it seems reasonable. It's okay. I presume Matip probably will play for Liverpool, so yeah, particularly if you're wildcard in 30. I don't like Matip as a longer term pick, but if it facilitates you for this week, then I think it's fine. Billy Taylor says, howdy Jimbo, I've already taken a -8 this week. Would you take another hit to bring in Nketiah for Weghorst, or just play either him or Mateta? I've got no chips, wildcard left apart from bench boost in 36. I think in your case, you'd probably just play Mateta, I think. I think he'll probably come back into the team. That's not certain, but I think you just go with Mateta, I think. Andrew Jarvis says, morning James, hope all is well. Last dilemma of the wildcard is to play 2 of Iheanacho, Pukki and Watkins. Which 2 would you recommend? Good luck for the game week. Is that to get them in or just to start? I mean, for the start this week, I'd probably go Iheanacho and Pukki, but I guess there's doubts about Iheanacho's start. It could easily be Daka. I think by default you probably go the other 2, Pukki and Watkins, mate. Philip Sukta says, hi James, thanks for the great content. I'm considering Martinelli and Weghorst out for Mount and Gelhardt, or Kulusevski and Weghorst out for Havertz captain and Mateta. Only bench boost left in game week 36. What would you do? Not Gelhardt for the bench boost personally, unless your other 3 subs are absolutely amazing. So it's the other option, I think. But then Mateta could easily not play against Watford. I'd consider Nketiah. Toadman says, hi James, would you take out Son for Havertz or Mount? Arguably neither, but if pressed to do it, it's Havertz. I think just to clarify this, I've gone Havertz, and remember I'm wildcarding next week, so I think it's easy for me to just take the 1 week punt. I think if it was till the end of the season, I'd prefer Mount. I'd bottle it. I'd go with a more consistent player who's more likely to play more games between now and the end of the season and is slightly cheaper. So it depends where you're going. If it's till the end of the season, I think Mount. If it's just this week, I think Havertz. Josh says, morning James, I know it's probably on your benching dilemmas, but do I play Ramsdale or Dubravka given I'm also starting share? It's on the benching dilemmas. Forget what the rest of your team is. Pick the one that's recommended. And this week, it's Ramsdale. Edwin Guan says, thoughts on João Pedro? Alright player. It's okay. Cucho's injury probably means he stays in the team at the minute. If you're asking for the sake of the double, lock in your 3 or 4 points probably. Hasselbank is win. Morning, James. Who is your number 1 transfer target for Spurs this summer? Is Messi up? Availability is still going good. Seems like a good idea to me. To be honest, I ain't thought about it, mate. I haven't thought about it. Christian Eriksen's coming home, not until he probably buries us first today. By the way, if anybody's got a spare in the away end today, like I've got one. I'm very lucky. I'd love my dad to have a ticket as well. If anybody knows anything, DM me in the next couple of hours. I will go and find him that ticket. Stefan B says, morning. Would you take a -8 that involves Kane to Werner for 3 Chelsea players? Is it better to have only 2 Chelsea players and keep Kane? I just have a free hit left. Thank you. I'd keep Harry Kane, mate. Look, I could have done this myself, right? Kane to Werner, I haven't. I actually don't think Werner's guaranteed to start tomorrow. Personally, I don't mind if people still want to buy him. I still think he's a really good captaincy option this week. I think his expected minutes I'd have at about 120, 130 this week. But I do think there's a chance he doesn't even start tomorrow. Alex Allegretto, and that's just an opinion. Alex Allegretto says, going with Kane captain, surely he's due. Good luck, James. He's definitely not your best choice, Alex. Yes, could do well today, but he's definitely not your best choice. Stian Bosdale says, hello, James. Your prediction for the Arsenal game makes me fear not owning one. -4 to get Odegaard or Martinelli for Kulusevski. Have Kane and Son for cover. Can't afford Saka unless I sell Robertson. And don't bother, Stian. Look, it's just my opinion that Arsenal will smash them today. Most people probably disagree with that. Warnock says, on a wild card, James and Coutinho or Laporte and Mount. That's interesting. Because I do think Coutinho is very interesting. Game weeks 35 to 37. I'm going to say the Coutinho option. Antonio Gitto says, hi James, if you were on a free hit this week, would you include any Spurs if it meant not tripling up on City or Liverpool? Or would triple City, Liverpool and Chelsea be a priority? If I was free hitting this week, I wouldn't have any Tottenham. Is the honest answer. Rishi Segal says, hi James, currently undecided between Havertz and Sterling for Ward-Prowse. I already have Werner and James, but feel Watford might be a 5-0 game. Also, who to play between Weghorst and Martinelli? Thanks and good luck for the game week. Martinelli in the hope that he plays, because Weghorst is a 1 or 2 pointer probably either way, right? So just gamble with Martinelli. I'd go Havertz personally, Rishi. The money in the bank will be helpful for you as well. Jay says, hi James, I decided to punt on Shimikas starting in my side due to Liverpool rotation rumours. Which order should I go between Ramsey, Rudiger and Breuer? Rudiger, Ramsey, Breuer, which is It's probably a giveaway by looking at my team. Meninda Prihar says, if we're confident City double in 36, what is the best way to attack that with a gamble? Only one City asset in Laporte and one free hit left. Then buy more. I'm about 70% at the game will go into game week 36. Sky going all the way back to Aston Villa and Burnley not going in game week 33 have absolutely fucked this up massively. Couldn't organise a piss up in a brewery. Need to give me, Ben Crellin and Ian Parron a call, and we'll get this done in about 10 minutes or so. They've absolutely ballsed it up. How can they not announce the game yet? It's ridiculous. It doesn't affect me. Couldn't care less because I'm obviously not wildcard until next week, and actually be better for my strategy if City double in 37. But if it's 36, it's 36. I'm not bothered overly. Get Cancelo, mate. It's a straight, obvious, honest thing to do. Brilliant value. Get Cancelo, mate. Moha says, pray Breuer or Way. I presume that's White. You'll find both of them on the bench in Dilemma, mate. Stian Bosdell, and by the way, you were amazing. Have a wonderful Saturday. Love to the fam. Thank you, Stian. You suck up. I will have an amazing Saturday if Tottenham win today, mate. Otherwise, I won't. Z says, hi, James. Final decision on wildcard. No bench boost. Free hit 37. Laporte versus Sake. I presume that's Saka. Laporte would allow me to double up on City defence. Is it worth betting against Saka with his EO? Fallen from 30k to 85k in 3 weeks. Look, can you go against Saka? Yeah, of course you can. I wouldn't say he's a definite for my wild card. I must say that my intention at the moment would be to have both of those two players on wild card next week. But it's up to you. I mean, if you want to chase, Saka's not going to help you climb. Go against, mate. Heiku News says, hi James, greetings from Finland. Would you transfer out Breuer and Maddison for Gelhardt and Mount or Havertz? Well, Sam Martin tweeted last night that Maddison starts. And that's not 100% guaranteed. But he's very reliable in terms of his Leicester information. I have no reason to doubt Sam. He says Maddison starts and Harvey Barnes doesn't today. So I probably wouldn't, to be honest. Unless you're complete without Chelsea and you're stuck for captaincy. If you're stuck for captaincy, fine, do it. Otherwise, I'm not sure I'd bother. RBKK 2009 says, am I a fool to go without Spurs? Possibly planning to get Sonny in for 36, but that's booking in 2 transfers after wildcard. The majority, and this isn't all, the majority of wildcard teams I'm seeing at the moment is without Spurs assets. And I'm not sure that's right. I think it's the recency bias of the performance against Brighton, which is a game like no other in the sense of the way they set up. I don't think anyone else can set up against Tottenham that way. So I think it's recency bias, and I think there'll be some regret there, personally. So, can you go without them this week? Yeah. I mean, I fancy us to win, but I think it's going to be a really, really tough game. Not straightforward at all. Do I expect hauls from Sonny or Kane, for example? No. Do I want to be without none of them for the rest of the season? Probably not. And I may go that way in terms of what it facilitates for the rest of my squad, budget-wise, but I don't like it. Antonino Gitto says, do you think Emerson Royal is probably safe for a start this week, or could Conte start changing things around after the loss? Could he? Yes. Do I think Emerson Royal will start? Yes, also. Bart Spielers says, hi there, James. Thinking of a -4. Rudiger to James and Havertz captaining, but for who? Barnes, Kulusevski or Saka? Straightforward. We don't think Harvey Barnes is going to start, so there's your answer. Yusuf Achua says, morning, James. Hope you're doing well. What are your thoughts about free hit 34 to chase the upside? I'm 62k rank. Impossible to answer, because I don't know what you've got in your team. If you're already sitting there with free Chelsea, what's the point in free hitting? Otherwise, yeah, I don't mind it. If you're without doublers, if you want to get in, obviously, City, Liverpool assets that maybe you don't have because they've got great fixtures, by all means, crack on, work away. It depends where you're at. Like, it's okay. It's fine. Joe Knight says, morning, James. Want to take out Bowen. Who would be your top 3 choices under 8.4 million for this game week? Wild card next week. I don't know what price. I feel like Foden's under that. So Foden, Diaz, Jota. But they're all risks, right? Also Saka, if you don't own. Jassim Jazz says, hi James, Chalobah chance of starting, worth punt if funds other move. Good luck with the game. I've got him in my predicted team. I think he's a good one, maybe if you still have the wild card left. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't go there. Berticus says, good morning, James. To get the funds for Havertz or Mount, I have to sell either Chris Wood or Weghorst. Which is it, mate? Both. Weghorst first, because Wood's got the better fixture this week, right? I think. David Hunter, no questions from me, James. Buzzing my wildcard squad. So which current Premier League manager would win a Royal Rumble, have a good day at Brentford? I mean, I would have said Sean Dyche, but that's off the table now. So maybe now we'll have to say Michael Jackson. Who would win a manager Royal Rumble? Vieira. Owen Walsh says, bloody hell, James, you had me dreaming about a politically correct interaction with Matt Latisse. Good luck this week. It's a Patreon reference. Thank you, mate. Good luck. Hoarder Faces, good morning, James. Mount, Salah or Havertz for captain. I have them all on wildcard. Quite straightforward, mate. On the screen for you, buddy. And Eater23 says, will Reguilon start today? I think yes, but it should be said that David Gold, who is the Football London correspondent for Tottenham, thinks that Sessegnon will come in. And he's got more info than I have. I think it will still be Reguilon. He thinks it will be Sessegnon, so I guess therefore it's a 50-50. James Nelson says, huge thanks, James, for incredible content this week. Much appreciated, thank you. On wildcard, bench boost 36. Is Emerson over Dyer risky for minutes? He's playing Sterling this week, just booking a transfer later. Have a great week, good luck. Sterling's a great differential, mate. Listen, you know what the risk is going with the City assets, don't you? But then he could be a good placeholder for Sonny, for example, maybe. Would I go Emerson over Dyer if I was concentrating towards the bench boost? No, I'd just go Dyer, I think. But I think amongst these rumours of Kulusevski possibly moving to wing-back, I look at it and think, does he want to play Kulusevski at wing-back against Liverpool or Arsenal? And I would think no. So I think they'd just stick with it with Emerson Royal, to be honest. Dylan Ferner Rose says, hey James, I chose Foden over Mount. Do you think I messed up? Plus start Cody or Davis. I would start Cody over Davis this week. I've actually predicted a clean sheet for Wolves. I think the fixture is better for Wolves in terms of defensive likelihood of a clean sheet. Would I have gone Foden over Mount? No. But to say that you've messed up, no, you've made your decision. Good luck. 9Tank7 says, who's the best triple captain choices for the running? Look, if you're not bench boosting 36, then obviously that's the week, and I think you go Mo Salah against Tottenham and Arsenal. Obviously there's the City, 36 or 37, however it lands is a possibility. I think Leicester, if you're really punty, 36, Everton at home, Norwich at home, any one of the attacking players, probably Maddison would be the favourite. But don't mind that. Honestly, if you want to punt something different, in Chelsea, I wouldn't triple captain Chelsea player this week, I think. I'd arguably still wait for 37 differential, something like Coutinho, Watkins triple captaincy in that week, Richarlison home to Brentford, Crystal Palace. There's loads of different ways to play it, but I think the very best choice would still be Salah 36. FPL Finding Glory says, morning James, Gameweek 38 wildcard by Suj is the content we all deserve and love. Made me chuckle. Good luck for the game week. To be honest, the more I thought about it, the less stupid it is. I just want him to wildcard 37 and free hit 38, so he's not wildcarding in 38. But he'll finish strong. I just think that he's leaving himself in a position where he's booking in moving shit players for the next couple of weeks. That's all, which I don't think is the best way to go. But let's see. Let's see how it lands at the end. Look, it's different, and I guess we should not condemn, but appreciate people trying to do different things and opening our eyes. And as we know, Suj is an FPL expert. Hoarder Faces, how do you feel about bringing in Ketcher on wildcard? Less comfortable than I'd feel about getting him on a -4 this week. I just think Arsenal fans will go nuts if he doesn't start today, is my personal opinion. The only reason he doesn't start is if his recovery is bad, and that's something we don't know. But I've taken a gamble. I still think it's better buying him than a Dennis or I've already got Breuer, João Pedro, Dennis. When I'm wildcarding next week, I've gone for it as my facilitator for Havertz. So I didn't want to play Weghorst or Breuer, right? So it was suitable for me. Doesn't mean it's necessarily suitable for you. I think if you're hoping he starts twice in Gameweek 36, that could be a long way away for him, is what I'd say. But look, if he does well in the next couple of games, he'll play till the end of the season, right? I think there's a good upside in punting with him, personally. If I'd have been wildcarding now, I probably wouldn't have gone with him, is the honest answer. Atul says, is Matt Letizia the Morpay guy? No, I think the Morpay guy's got more intelligence than Matt Letizia. Toby Evanson says, hi James, Ronaldo or Werner for this week? My bench is looking thin if I go for Ronaldo on a free hit. You may not need that bench, obviously. Werner. even though I've said I have a suspicion that he might not start tomorrow. I think, look, Werner in and what you can do with the rest of the money would be what I'd prefer. Nicola Torco says, although to be fair, if I was to be on a free hit this week, I'd be going Havertz, Mount, James. That's 100% the way I'd be going if I was free hitting this week. Nicola Torco says, hello James, would you play Rafinha over Coutinho this game week? Good luck. Yes. Yes, I would. Patrick Lawson says, would you rather get in Trent or Salah? Currently have 0 Liverpool. The obvious answer here to say is Salah, right? But it's the money. Trent for me. I think I may well captain Trent in 36 if I go without Salah. I think just consistency. Go, yeah, look, there's a hole in him at any time. Birth Media says, thoughts on Salah, Jota double up or Salah Zaha on free hit? I'd gamble with the Liverpool players. I actually don't have Jota in my predicted Liverpool team. I think Liverpool might be unchanged just because they were so good the other night. But Jota could easily come in for Mane or Diaz. I'd be hugely surprised if it was in for Salah. I think I'd still go Jota, personally. CM Punk. That's terrible, James. Havertz, Alonso, Sterling and a 4.5 million forward to change for bench boost 36. Is that one too many pre-booked transfers? We'll be screwed if another player gets injured. I think you're answering your own question, mate, and the answer is yes. You probably are booking in too many. Daniel Thomas says, morning James, no chips left and my bench is currently Breuer, Ramsey and Gordon. Would you take a hit to remove Rudiger for Diaz? Would give me triple City defence, which I'm quite keen to have. The answer is no, I've left it. That said, if I wasn't wildcarding next week, I think I probably would have taken a -4 for Laporte. Probably, if I didn't have the wildcard left. But I decided for 1 week, look, could City win 6-1 today and Laporte gets a 2-pointer? Yeah. I decided it wasn't worth it. Daniel Thomas, that's what we've just done. Alejandro Perez says, if I don't move Share to Laporte, who do I start out of Roberts and Share? If I don't move Share to Laporte, who do I start out of Roberts and Share? Ooh, close one. Go Roberts, I think. Hans-Peter Forstenson says, hello James, Kane or Ronaldo in a free hit? It's Ronaldo from the two, mate. Ethan says, would you go Mount for Kulusevski or Havertz for Saka? I mean, I'm reluctant to get rid of either of those players, but Mount in for Kulusevski, unfortunately. But I'm not keen. Nelvin says, good morning, Nelvin. Mark Lynch, what are your thoughts on Vardy just about back playing? Great timing. I think they'll use him for the Europa Conference games. Probably not on Thursday, but I think obviously the second leg against Roma and obviously the final, if they get there, will be the priority for where they use Jamie Vardy, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's all they used him for. It's bad news for people like me, considering Iheanacho on a wild card next week and it's possibly coming off the table. Certainly muddies the waters further. Yankee Gruber says, morning James, Kane, Kulusevski and White out from -8 for Havertz, Cancelo and Pukki. Don't love it. I don't love it. I mean, the 3 players you're getting obviously will get minutes this week. I don't love it. I'll be honest, I really don't love it. Just ask yourself, Yankee Gruber, like if you make those transfers, could you be in a position where you want to completely reverse them again next week? And if the answer is no, then fine, crack on. But just be cautious again of what I'm saying about possibly going without Spurs in the longer term. Rosalie says, best wildcard pick. Best wildcard pick. Kasper Schmeichel is in everybody's fucking wildcard. Ray Qureshi says, morning James Bud. Good morning Ray, hope you're well mate. Garang says, will Alonso play most Premier League games? Look, here's how it goes. At the moment the answer to that question is probably yes. If Jared Bowen tears him a new one tomorrow, he might not play again this season. He does Tuchel's nutting, so predicting more than a game at a time with Alonso is impossible. Taz says, replace Rudiger. What a brilliant question. Thanks, mate. Yeah, thumbs up. John T says, I have feeling United will win. Good luck with that, mate. I hope you're right. Biffin says, long term, which one do you should prefer, Mateta or Nketiah? Good luck for the game week. Nketiah. Alistair Hargreaves says, hi James, wildcard no Spurs players, but have got a way to get them in if it goes tits up. Would you go Coutinho or Saka? I mean, right in front of my face, Saka this week, and then change it next week if you want to, is generally my opinion. Angel Ross says, hi mate, quick Arsenal United combined 11 for the season. Good luck this game week. Do me a favour, mate, put that back in the chat on the hour. I'm not going to cover that now because it takes too long, but perhaps a nice one for the Q&A session at the end. I'll have about 15 minutes after deadline. We are about half hour from deadline, guys. Do make sure you're getting those teams locked in. Sean T 100, would you start Chalobah if you were stupid enough to get him in a few weeks ago? Shouldn't come on if he doesn't start, right? There's 2 games. He almost definitely gets some minutes, mate. Yes, I would definitely start him. Think of it the other way. What if you leave him out and he starts twice and they get 2 clean sheets? You've got to start him. Tom Ramsden says, hi James, would you start Ben White over Harvey Barnes now we know he's benched? Well, it's not 100%, but we think so. The answer to your question is, though, yes. Nelvin says, Dubravka or Sanchez, Saka or Breuer? A and A for both of them. Sean says, hi James, close to tears here trying to construct a tent for the first time in 3 years ahead of Glastonbury. Good luck, mate. You'd never catch me there. I can't do all that sort of stuff, mate. I need hot water. On 35 wildcard, avoid Chelsea mids, given how close the Leeds game is to the final. Look, I'm wildcarding next week, and there's every chance I may be completely without Chelsea on that wildcard. Possibly. But we'll see. We'll see how we feel this time next week. JP says -12. Barnes, Tierney, Martinelli, Wood out. For Havertz, Mount, Davis and Ketcher. Bench boost 36 in mind. Thoughts? I actually think it's alright. I don't like -12s in the sense that I think that's at the point where you should be considering wildcard, but you also may be without it. I don't hate that. But the only player I'd be confident there that definitely starts twice in 36 is Davis. And you're saying with bench boost in mind. So, but there's players there I think you want to move on. Wood's got to go. If he doesn't go this week, he goes next week. Tierney's obviously got to go. Martinelli could get his place back. Barnes could still be great for 36. So if it's more 36 in mind, I think it's no. But on the face of it, the -12 for the immediate is okay. Alan says, who's your Sky FF cap today? Cancelo for me. Yeah, it'd be the same for me, Alan. I'll be on Cancelo. Utsam says, Son to Kai Havertz and Rafinha to Foden Mount. It's fine, and yes, I'd go for the immediate right in front of your face and go with Mount. Ross Hamilton says, morning James, whipping out the wild card this week. My last decision to make is Son and Laporte or KDB and Matip. Current assets from those teams are, that's irrelevant. Good luck everyone. I'd go Son and Laporte. Zoofman says, would you bench Dewsbury Hall or Breuer? I don't think Breuer will start this week, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if neither of them start, in all honesty. Dewsbury Hall's got to get a rest soon, I think, but he does keep playing every game. His fitness is obviously exceptional. Hannah Murphy says, morning James, would you do Rudiger to Laporte and Maddison to Mount, or Rudiger to Alonso and Maddison to Havertz? I'm all out of chips. Probably prefer option 2, Hannah, but bear in mind what we said, that we do really think that Maddison's going to start. Garang Barot says, hi James, do you think Malang Sarr is a good pick? I don't even think it's a good pick for Chelsea, mate. I see him have 3 good games out of 9. They were all against Tottenham, and I don't believe they have Tottenham in this double game week, so I wouldn't be surprised if Sarr doesn't play at all. He's very average. On Wednesday night, look at the amount of passes he had. An astonishing number. He had about 111 passes Wednesday night. Why he had about 111 passes? Because Arsenal know he's really slow on the ball. Takes too much time. They didn't need to press him. Then make sure they pressed to every pass too. They were isolating him as a weak link. Nelvin says Saka or Breuer. It's literally the easiest question I'll get on this stream today. Saka, mate. John Cahill says, morning James. Boring one this, but would you start Adams or Weghorst? Adams. Just both shit. In fairness, I would have free-hitted Adams last week, and those who did that, I think you've been so dead unlucky. I can't believe he didn't start either. Jim says, like Havertz more than Mount, but would you be concerned with pairing him with Alonso and Werner, who are more risky in terms of game time? Is it more sensible to go for Mount in that situation? Listen, by the time you hit game 2 in game week 36, they're all rotation risks. Go with a player you think is going to haul this week. There's your answer. But, as I said, I think if I was going longer term, right till the end of the season, I'd probably prefer Mount. James Brennan says, hi James, on a free hit this week and currently have Wood in my team for 6-7 million. Who's the best mid forward to replace him, or should I keep him in? Cheers. I'll go and catch him, mate. I really would punt that. Really would punt that. And that gives you a little bit more money to look at something else as well. Excuse me. Chim says, Sis Mount seems more now for game time beyond 34. Okay, that's your previous question. Ollie Harris says, hi James, good luck this week. Do you think Livramento gets his place back this week? Otherwise, who do you think is the best budget bench fodder defender? The answer, unfortunately, is there is not a good one. There is not a good one at Livramento's value or lower. Do I think he gets back in the team this week? No. He could do. Very easily could do. They weren't good on Thursday. But I think with the back three, I think Walker-Peters and Pereira is probably more suitable at the moment. We could easily bring him back in and move Walker-Peters to left wing back, for example. There isn't a good one. There isn't a good one if you're looking for bench boost 36. If you haven't got the bench boost left, the honest advice is just get a 3.9 million defender, or to be honest, more like just leave it. Lockchaw says, morning, Davis or Royal? I'd go Davis. Sorry, boring. Robert Warnock says, who to start, Breuer or Dewsbury Hall? Cheers, James. I feel like we've had that one, Dewsbury Hall. Michael Lynch says, do you know who blanks in 37? Looking at Lego Mane's Twitter, it's only United. Yes, it's likely to only be Manchester United who blank in 37. Gareth Payton says, start Elanga or Nketiah. But mind you, it's the double, isn't it? I'd possibly go for Elanga because of the two fixtures, but that's not even obvious. JFPL says, hi James, better triple captain pick Watkins in 37 or Reece James this week. League has a special criteria which means I can't go for the obvious picks. Well, will Watkins be an obvious pick come 37? I don't know if that influences you, but the answer to that is I'd say Watkins 37. Michael Lynch says he's saying that Liverpool's game with Southampton moves there. Yes, Southampton-Liverpool is almost certainly going to be the Tuesday in Gameweek 37. That's correct. Big Geek on Wildcard, bench boost 36. Son, Mateta, Saka versus Coutinho, Havertz, Richarlison. Option B with the availability to move Havertz to Maddison, Saka, Kulusevski, any of that. Immortal Dom Valorant says, thoughts on -8 Mount, Cancelo and Gordon to Maddison, Saka, Doherty long-term picks. So I've read that completely the wrong way round, really, haven't I? Because it's written the wrong way round. So you want Mount, Cancelo and Gordon in for Maddison, Saka and Doherty. Not this week, I don't think. I mean, Doherty's got to go. It's fairly obvious. No, I'm not even convinced on that on longer term, to be honest. Cancelo kind of just about squeezes it. Is it worth the -8? I'm not convinced. Josh says, hi James, do you think Martinelli starts? You've got him in your benching dilemmas over Weghorst and Schär at the moment, so I may need to flip that. No, I don't. I think Arsenal probably go unchanged. But it's Wednesday night to Saturday lunchtime, so the recovery might come into it. But I think if Arteta can pick the same team, he will. My honest answer to that is on the two players you're referencing instead. I don't think either return, and I think Arsenal will smash United, so I think Martinelli could get returns on the bench, and that's why he's above them on the bench in dilemmas. Matthew Hogben says, hello James, hope you're well. Any plans for Chelsea assets in Sky now Rudiger is ruled out tomorrow? The honest answer to that is I'm not going to make my decision till tonight. Certainly block Chelsea's definitely off the table now. I may get one to run me through the next sort of 3 games or so, but I might just go without. I honestly might just go without. I could even skip United Chelsea, possibly. I'm not gonna make a final decision on it till tonight, but I'd like to end up with the defensive of Liverpool City. Really is where I want to be. Matthew Hogburn, that's what we've just done. Oliver Pepper says, should I take an extra -4 from Rudiger to James, or just use Coutinho from the bench for Rudiger? Coutinho, mate. Tommy and P, start Schär or Weghorst. They've both got to be on the bench in dilemmas. In fact, they're right next to each other on page 4. It will come round for you in a second. Calvin Murray says, start Ramsdale or Sanchez. Ramsdale for me. RBKK 2009. Sorry, my previous question was supposed to say Jota or Havertz and Werner, or KDB and Dennis on Wildcard. It's definitely option A. Shah says, hey man, bench one of Schär, Wood, Saka, Kulusevski. share from that. Chris Goddard says, how's the fitness coming along for Gameweek 39? What fitness? Jealous I can't be there as I live in Australia. Do you know if someone will be doing a live stream? Live, no. But we're hoping to film the game and put it on this YouTube channel a couple of days afterwards. That's the plan. But I'm going to be on holiday afterwards, so that's up to other people to sort out. Because I am taking a holiday in June this year. Harry says, hi James. Dubravka or Schmeichel and Justin or Cher? I'm going to presume their starts for this game week. I'm going to really... I'm going to say Schmeichel, Dubravka and Cher, sorry. I'm going to say. Let's be honest, Leicester don't keep many clean sheets, do they? And even though I think Newcastle might get beat actually today, is my prediction, I still think that's the right way to go. Go for the double Newcastle. He says, putting both of them on his own bench. Steve Grenwell says, morning James, on the same start as you for running. Who gets more starts, minutes, and Ketcher or Werner? Till the end of the season? Probably Werner. Shamrock1 says, is it okay to transfer in Werner in place of Iheanacho over Havertz or Mount as Chelsea options? Of course it is. Of course it is. What do you want me to say? No, you can't do that. I mean, I'm not going to say that. No, of course it's okay, if that's what you think. Summit says, attacking defender 4.7 and below for free hit. Shimikas. If Robertson gets left out. Is Chalobah that price? I know it doesn't fall into attacking defensive, but it's arguably the Wales. I'm going to guess you've got 3 Chelsea already sitting there. To be honest, it's probably like Emerson Royal if you want to punt it this week, right? Probably. Chris Hermitage says, hi James, I can only start one and Ketcher or Kulusevski. Brentford away is a tough game for Spurs. I'm leaning on Ketcher. There you go, Chris, you've already answered it, mate. Igor Rudek says, Weghorst or Arsenal defence. Arsenal defence. Giacomo says, what are your moves this week? I've gone Havertz and Ketcher in for Fraser and Weghorst -4. 333 trip 333 says, hi James, Mount or Salah captain. Bottom right hand screen, mate. Or bottom right hand corner of the screen, rather. Ludwig Bergfeldt says, hi James, on Wildcard, would you rather have Saka or Laporte from now until the rest of the season? Say City double in 36 when I bench boost. Also, would you take a punt on Sterling this game week instead of Son? Cheers. I probably wouldn't, no, because I know that Sonny's going to play today, so no, I probably personally wouldn't punt that. Laporte v Saka's really close, I think. Slight favouritism, Laporte, probably. William Frick Person says, hello James, bit shocked with the Arsenal prediction considering McTominay and Varane both is back. Also, do you think I should leave Dean on the bench? Zinchenko the only City defender I can afford. Yeah, I wouldn't buy Zinchenko unless you're on a free hit. I think if you're on a free hit, he almost looks like he'll start today, right? I wouldn't buy him. Yeah, that's okay. And listen, I did the prediction before I knew McTominay and Varane would be back, and I've decided to stick with it because I still think they'll just fold if Arsenal score early. So I just think they're all over the place. I don't think they'll be able to deal with Arsenal's intensity. McTominay's back, but he's still got Matic next to him. Varane's back, and he's still got probably Lindelof next to him. There are reports saying that Harry Maguire's going to be left out, and that doesn't surprise me at all, actually. Michael Ward says, play Dewsbury Hall or Weghorst, thanks for the content. Go Dewsbury Hall. Weghorst's just going to do your brain in, isn't he? Downstairs says, morning legend on Wildcard today, free hit in 37. Got a Langer for 34 and 35. Was planning to sell him for Martinelli in 36, but is it better to just get Martinelli now? Also, Nketiah or Dennis for 34, 36. No, I wouldn't say it's better to get Martinelli now because you can go Elanga and you could get to 36. If Martinelli's not back on the table, you can go Ramsey, you can go Gordon, you can go Dewsbury Hall. They're your get-outs. Immortal Technique, thanks for that, mate. Much appreciated. Anthony says, hi, James, on Wildcard. No bench boost and free hit 37. And last decision is Loris or Ramsdale to set and forget. Thanks for the great content. I would go Ramsdale. Yeah, I'd go Ramsdale. FPL telling Josh, hi James, would you start Weghorst or Jacob Ramsey? In this case, would it still be go with a striker? That's a bit closer. Weghorst. It's rubbish, isn't it? Just see Chad says, hi James, Chalobah chance of starting, worth it if allows another move. Yeah, decent. I've covered this through the stream already. Erase Savda says, is it worth doing Fernandes to Salah and Kane to Werner? Can't believe that's the first time I've been asked this, but my answer is going to be no. Melon Musk says, Edison or Mendy? If it's a free hit, Mendy. If it's rest of the season, Edison. Danelius, hi James, great stream. Thank you. You're very welcome, mate. While we're there, guys, there's over 500 of you in at the moment. Smash a like. Doesn't cost anything. You just got to press that little thumb up button. Nick Giordano says, morning James, who do you start out of Cash, Dewsbury Hall, Breuer, Richarlison, or would you take a -4 for Nketiah? I think with the availability of those players on the bench, no, I would not take the -4. I wouldn't overly expect any of them to return. I'd arguably start Richarlison from that. Actually, no, that's not true. I'd start Matty Cash. I'd go for the upside on Matty Cash, I think. Fraser Love says, on a free hit, where do you put Pipe in goal? Don't smoke pipe. In goalkeeper benching dilemmas. Good question. I would have Nick Pope below Dubravka and above Schmeichel. I fancy Wolves to win tomorrow, actually. Khan, it's on the screen. You'll see my opinion there, mate. Tom Ramsden says, because we know Barnes is bench, Barnes to Dewsbury Hall for a hit. Not for a hit, mate. Off Spinnery in a hurry says, start Share or Burn today, James plays. I mean, quite frankly, that's toss a coin, isn't it? Share, he's the one I've got. Mine J777 starts Saiss or Breuer. I'd start Saiss. 1 FDE, what about Bernardo Silva? Great player, mate. It's not what you want to hear, is it? It's a great player. That is basically because you can't afford another Manchester City player, is the answer. We've been through this with Bernardo earlier in the season. That moment's gone, I think. There's better options. Find the money for something better, or just find another team. Bernardo Silva is not a better option than the likes of Saka or Kulusevski. Reality. It's I want a Man City player, in my opinion. Clemente, I'm not reading out a free hit team, mate, but I'm sure it's fine. Good luck to you. Kushal Roy, hi James, Sterling or Son on a wild card. No money for KDB. Sonny for me, mate. Siddharth Sud says Rafinha and Share to Havertz and James for -4. Reasonable. Purely as well because Leeds and Newcastle have a rough run of fixtures after this week, so I think that's reasonable, yes. Ditcher says Ronaldo captain, wish me luck. Good luck. I hope he gets a hat-trick today, mate. Sam Burton says, on wildcard, bench boost 36, free hit 37. Which combo would you take between Mount, White or Kulusevski, James? We already have Kane. Kulusevski, James, mate. Radu Christian says, what do you think? Is Sterling playing? 0 minutes last match. I can also get Son. I've got Sterling in my predicted lineup. But it's just a predicted lineup. Personally, I don't think I'd gamble it. Lee Faint says, hi James, start Laporte on Nketiah. I think Laporte, you play the City defender, don't you? Peter Paul, Shimikas going to play. I doubt it, personally. Heiku Nu says, oh, where you gone? Where you gone? We've lost you. Sorry, mate. I mean, I've got to cover you now. I read your bloody name out, didn't I? God, there's a lot of questions I ain't getting to here, guys. Sorry, I wouldn't bother submitting any more questions. But thanks for those who submitted them. Hi, James. Thanks for answering. I only have James from Chelsea and Maddison out. Is the easiest route to get Mount? He is, yes, probably. But I'm not sure I'd want to bid him. Like, I might have Maddison on wildcard next week. Oh, Spinnery says, hi, James. Start Share or Burn today, please. I've already covered that. Bacon says, I'm hungry now. Would you pick between Cash and Matip? Or who'd you pick between Cash and Matip? I mean, I would start Matip. I would not get Matip in my team, though, generally. It's a waste of a Liverpool spot. I think people want it there to facilitate. I think Konate could start any league game. So, I mean, if you're going Matip thinking, oh, going to have him for bench boost 36, there's literally no guarantee that he plays twice, mate. With Matty Cash, there is. That said, obviously when Matip does play, there's every chance of the clean sheets. He is a threat from set pieces, but I'd rather go Matty Cash to tell you the truth. Sam Burton says, wild card, bench boost 36, free at 37. Kulusevski and Robertson or Jota Matip. I think that's probably just answered from the last question, isn't it, Sam? Kulusevski and Robertson. Aditya says, what's your rank? It's basically exactly 100,000. I'll tell you precisely, it's 100,036. Exactly that. 100036. I can't pronounce your name because it's in weird shit. Do you think bench boost is worth it for Ramsdale, Odegaard, Chalobah, and Bruno Guimaraes? No, I don't. I think why wouldn't you just wait till 36 on that and move Bruno Guimaraes to someone who's got a double? Wes says share Breuer or Mateta to start. I think look, if you got Mateta, you play him. Daniel White says, would you risk Nketiah not getting both games in for bench boost 36 or just get João Pedro on wildcard? What's your expectations on João Pedro? Like, if Nketiah starts against Leeds, are you happy to have that, or do you really want João Pedro for his double? Watford, how many home games they lost? 10? Is it like 9 in a row or something? I'd go Nketiah, I think. You can always move it if it's wrong. Ian So Fung Yan Fan, great name, sorry I can't pronounce it. Son and Cornet to Sterling and Havertz. Can you go Mount and Havertz and just leave the money for a minute, and then you've got an easier path back to Son. Tashin says Rudiger to Laporte for a -4 hit. I've decided not to do it. Rennie Christensen, Bronze, and Rudiger to Havertz and Trent for a -4. Yeah, like that. No arguments there. Daniel White, sorry you answered my question, no problem. Daniel Richard Marshall, Sterling and Matip or Foden and Robertson on wildcard. Prefer the Robertson route. Lee Sherwood, I went Mount over Havertz, but do I captain him over Salah? Captaincy's on the screen, mate. Sam Burton, hi James, is TAA worth the extra 1.1 million over Robbo? Would you just go Matip if unable to afford TAA? No, I've covered this on Matip, I wouldn't go there. Radu Christian, Sterling or Son on a free hit? On a free hit, I'd probably gamble Sterling. Simon Kurtz has reduced expected minutes for Werner versus Bruno, 180 minutes for captaincy. Where would you put your 10p? On Werner, it's on the screen. Russell says, will Alonso get the minutes for the next 3 fixtures? Unsure between him and James. I don't know, mate. I can't see into the future. If I could and I knew it, I'd buy Marcus Alonso probably, but I can't. As I said earlier, Alonso can have one bad game and that could be the end of his season. And he had one bad game the other night, by the way. Atta Rahman says Rafinha versus Saka versus Kulusevski. Who to remove for a Chelsea mid wildcard next week? Kulusevski, if you're certain you won't have him on that wildcard. Luke Verstig says play Martinelli or Region. I'd go Martinelli, I think. Siddhartha says Rafinha and shared Havertz and James -4. I'm pretty sure I've done this, mate. We're about 6 minutes to deadline, guys. Make sure you're getting yourselves locked in. Just going to have a check. See if I've potentially got any Arsenal Manchester United news I can share with you. Yogesh says playing Nketiah as lone striker. Okay, good for you, mate. Melon Mus says I'm not reading your team, mate, but good luck. Moshin Khan says, good morning, James. Who would you bench? Nketiah, Pukki or Kulusevski? Very reluctantly, Kulusevski. Michael Quinn, Wood and Kulusevski to Pukki and Mount. Yes, I think it's okay. I'm very loath to be advising people to sell Kulusevski, I have to say, by the way. I'm not keen on that at all. No, nothing. Oh, hang on a minute. Might have something. Oh, come on. Isaac says Pukki. That's Pukki and Mount or Havertz and Dennis. Pukki, mate. Harry Maguire is a sub for Manchester United, which was reported yesterday by The Athletic, so that's not going to come as a surprise. That's all we've got. Peter Henderson says, hi mate, Son, Odegaard, Williams out for Havertz, Mount, Laporte from -4. Thoughts, please. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Nitin says, Kulusevski to Foden for Gameweek 35. If Foden starts, it's a great choice. If he doesn't, it's not. I've got Foden in my predicted team. Gushal Roy says, hi James, Sterling or Son on a wild card. Quality content, brother. You're very welcome. Thank you. It'd still be sunny for me. Luke Wilson, Ashley Young worth a punt. No. find the money for Matty Cash, mate. He's also a walking, waiting for injury to happen, isn't he, Ashley Young? So, no. Mohammed, I don't like answering questions in capital letters. We should know that by now. And I've spoke about my thoughts on Werner towards the start of this stream. We'll see. Says, hi, James. Appreciate your help. Kilman for Laporte or Alonso or Azpilicueta? I'd be going Laporte. Varun says, move Maddison to Sterling or Havertz or Holgate to Laporte from -4. Move Maddison to Sterling or Havertz or Holgate can go. It's a definite, isn't it? So, yeah, I'd consider that as long as you're happy with your captain choice. If you're not happy with your captain choice, you go Havertz, don't you? Eshan says, Kane to Werner and Martinelli to Mount for -4. Not in love with it. Not in love with it at all. Isaac says, hi James, planning to bench boost 36. Havertz and Dennis or Mount and Pookie. Mount and Pookie. Richard Marshall, Sterling and Matip or Foden and Robertson. Foden and Robertson. Matthew McHale, morning mate. Would you start Ben White or Kalechi? I would, if I had an Iheanacho, yeah, I would start him ahead. There's no guarantee that he plays, but yes, that's what I would do. Will Crook says, hi James, planning to bench boost for 36, no chips left. Would you do a -8 for Doherty to Laka? Oh, Doherty and Lacazette to, and Rafinha to Pookie, Alonso and Havertz. Listen, if you're focused towards 36, these Chelsea guys ain't going to play twice in 36. I wouldn't, even Mendy, I'm not convinced plays twice in 36. They play Leeds less than 3 days before the FA Cup final. Why are these guys going to play against Leeds? So if you're focusing your eyes towards 36, don't bother. Are they going to improve your team this week? Yes. OG Noz, there's chance of Rob Holding staying in the team after the Chelsea result. I think he probably does today, but if you're looking longer term, Tomiyasu's back in training, right? So once Tomiyasu's in training, White goes back inside, and then that's a no. Mac Drax says, should I keep or sell Ronaldo? If you've got Ronaldo this week, you keep him, don't you? Jonathan Masters, you reckon Fernandes gets more forward this week with McTominay back? Hoping so. Yeah, I'm hoping so. Joe Finney Bader says, guys, James captain picks are on the right of the screen. No need for the constant captain questions. Well said, Joe. Much appreciated, mate. Just a nice guy. James or Alonso on Wildcard. James. Toby Edvinson says, hi, James. How was Fest? Don't know. Didn't go. Ayush Gupta says, yes, James. The Nketiah punt is on. I hope he flops, mate. Vin Kata says, nice. Tendai H says, hello, mate. Hope you're having a good morning. What you think of Chalobah's chance of playing this game week? Decent. Steve Trim, even if from New Zealand, start Coutinho or White. Coutinho upside is bigger. SK, if the only way to go Mount or Havertz is to take out Foden, is it worth it? Wow. You've got people in the stream who are asking to buy Foden or one of these players, so I think there's your answer, mate. Vin Kata says, Adams or Weghorst, take a hit, mate. Luke C 1914, like a fantasy Premier League hit, not a, don't shoot yourself. Think Luke C 1914, who will start, Havertz or Timo Werner? Havertz. Abdul says the screen template is on another level. Cheers, mate. That's FPL captain's work. Give that man a follow. He's a G. Shamark on the screen, mate. Geo Lux Lucis, hi James, wants to replace Rudiger but have DCL, Adams, Breuer and wants to replace all for Gameweek 36 bench boost. Have 3 Chelsea and no wildcard. Do you prefer Alonso and wait for more info, or Laporte and Werner now for -4? -4 now, go. Richard Grunberg, Emerson Royal and Havertz or Foden and Young? It's the Emerson Royal option. Sash JM, Grealish needs a haircut. Adario plays Son, Salah, Havertz, Werner or Mahrez for captain. On the screen, my friend. I wouldn't even mind, you've just been told in the chat just before that as well. Nishamp says, hi James, which of the two among Werner, Mount and Havertz on a free hit? Mount and Havertz. John Loyler, hey James, do you think Emerson Royal will play the majority of games now? Is he playing well? Yes and no is the answer to your 2 questions. Luke Hopkinson, I'm on Kai captain. Hopefully opposite outcome from last time I did it, game week 9. All the best, James. Are you going to Brentford? Yes, I am. And as I said earlier, for those in the stream later, if anybody knows anything about a spare ticket in the away end at Brentford today for Tottenham fans, I will pay some serious dollar for it. Get in my DMs and point me my direction. In fact, can you all just spend the next couple of hours on Twitter looking for the possibility of a Tottenham ticket for me and just DM me, and I'm on the case. I will fly around this city to go and get a ticket if I have to. But if I can't get one, then yes, I have one. I'm lucky, extremely lucky. Those tickets are like gold dust today. Everyone wants one. Harvey Burton, downgrade Salah to Mane or KDB as I need the extra money. Downgrade Salah to Mane or KDB as I need the extra money. I wouldn't go Salah to Mane, mate. Unless you're like losing in mini leagues and stuff, or you really want to jump up rank and you just want to go something different. Otherwise, I wouldn't bother. And as far as I'm concerned, guys, apologies. No, I can't. Well, don't say it, James. Deadline is gone. That's it. Hopefully, even if I didn't cover your question, hopefully the questions of others allowed me to cover your dilemmas ahead of deadline. If anybody's got any non-FPL questions, hi Mahal, the deadline's gone, mate. Stick them in the chat now. I've got 15 minutes or so to cover some stuff, so throw them in now, but no more FPL questions. If you just came for the FPL, wish you the best of luck this week. Smash a like, hit the subscribe button on the way out. Deadline stream will be same time next week. Content coming up Monday. Me and Suj will obviously be together. We'll be in his office in the studio to review the weekend of Gameweek 34. Tuesday will likely be People's Poll podcast. Wednesday will be Sky Fantasy Football. Thursday's Clash of Correspondence is with Chris Stone and Adam Pritchard. West Ham versus Arsenal ahead of Gameweek 35. Friday, I'm not sure what we're going to do yet Friday. I either do an Ask James stream or I might do a Wildcard special because I'm definitely going to be on it and I don't know if Suj is going to be on it or not. Our Patreon podcast this week will include a Q&A on Monday. Tuesday will be a Champions League podcast. We'll do a little bit of UCL fantasy, but actually I want to take a closer look at who Villarreal are as a football club, their rise. How's this small club managed to get to a Champions League semi-final twice inside the last 20 years? Wednesday will be Tottenham. Thursday, are we doing a quiz this week? Yeah, I'll probably do a quiz. I can't remember. I feel like there's something else. Wifey's coming on the pod, hopefully. Because we're going to get her on Wildcard. Hopefully going to get the wifey on the pod Thursday, so probably no quiz this week. And that in itself is worth joining fucking Patreon, as the patrons will tell you. Friday, Differential show, Gameweek 35 preview. There'll be advanced tier videos all week from Monday to Friday as well. If you want to support our content, you can do from as little as £3 a month. Join our Slack community on Patreon, www.patreon.com/planetfpl. Support the content because you want to support the content, not because you want to be a better FPL manager. We are not experts. My pod partner is wildcarding in game week 38. Right, let's have a look. Let's see what we've got. Thank you, Rory Gibson. Deadline's gone. Ben Eddington, who do you think is your celeb lookalike? No one else is ugly enough to look like this. Do I have a celeb lookalike? No, I don't think I do. I don't even want to hear other people's answers. Dylan Ferner Rose says, pick a starting 11 of players outside the traditional Big Six. Before I do that, someone asked about combined Arsenal United earlier, didn't they? Combined Arsenal United. Ramsdale in goal, Tierney left back, Tomiyasu right back. Close between the two Arsenal players and Varane, I think. I think Varane goes in. I think with Ben White would probably be the best partnership. I quite like Gabriel. That's difficult between those three. Midfield, you can laugh if you want, Partey and Xhaka. Let's stick Fernandes and Ronaldo in there ahead of that. Saka on the right and Sancho on the left. Feels awful putting any United players in there, I think. Ian Parent says, how many of your remaining Sky transfers will you be using this week? I don't know the answer to that, Ian. I'm down to 7, I think. Original plan was 3 Chelsea tomorrow. That might be completely scrapped now. So what I've decided to do, Ian, is get through today, see how it lands rather than overthink it in case, I lose, say, Laporte or Cancelo today, for example. might maybe influence the decision moving forward. And I'm going to get in the planner tonight. BCC says, my man predicted Arsenal 4-0 to United. Listen, no one will be happy if that looks stupid and United go there and win. I promise you. Joe Finley Bader says, roughly, how many of the 92 stadiums have you been to? Oh, God. Half, I think, Joe. Half. And today completes the set for me in the Premier League again. That will take me up to all 20 Premier League stadiums done once I get into Brentford's today. I think probably half, Joe. I did work this out before. I feel like it was about 45. So, yeah, I think it's pretty close to half. Cole JB, wifey on the post. Not a promise. Don't sign up on that promise. But, yeah, that's the plan. SK says, what are your realistic expectations from Spurs next year? How long to a trophy in your opinion? Life's not about trophies. It's about having a team that you can support and get behind every week. My expectations next season would be if Conte stays and is still manager next season, then top 4. And if he's not, I think we'll probably be adrift on that, but then it's subject to who would maybe replace him. Can I be very honest with you? I think much could change for Tottenham, depending on what happens in the next month, basically. So thinking about next season now is a waste of time, and I haven't thought about it, and I won't till it looks clear that we're either getting fourth or not getting fourth. There's business to be done now before we think about next season. Dave Perrin says, rarely dropping on here at this time, but just wanted to say thanks for the tip-top content, mate. Very welcome, Dave. Hope you're keeping well, buddy. Good luck for the rest of that Sky season, mate. Ray Qureshi says, Ten Hag lookalike. I'll take that. I think that his face is a bit more thinner than mine. Bonner Brody says, Keith Allen. It's probably better, yeah. I'll look at the state of these. Andrew Gronin says, Danny DeVito. Sidar says, Guardiola. Look, I'll take that. Pep's a handsome man, to be honest. So's Jason Statham, says Danelius. You lot no need to all get down as Specsavers. I agree with Wayne Thomas, what he's saying. Keith Allen's a shout, yeah. TJ Powell, wifey on the pod is reason enough for Patreon. It is, isn't it? You know that. Fantasy Scout 11. Hi, James Rackshit here. Wanted to drop in and say thank you for doing some stunning work, mate. Cheers, buddy. Sadly, couldn't catch up with you at the Spurs West Ham game last month. I know, mate. We missed each other. It was your fault, though. Hopefully catch up soon. I hope you enjoyed your first visit to White Hart Lane, mate. James Morgan says, ban the trolls, please. Don't worry, I'm going to go back through the chat and get rid of them, mate. If they haven't already got rid of themselves. Def Charinwala. Sorry I've mispronounced that. Thanks, James. Great content. Very much appreciated. Rohan saying Saka bench. I mean, that would make my day, actually, even though he sits in my FPL team. I've not heard anything about that. Danelius says, enjoyed it. Thank you. Ciao. Cheers, Danelius. Max Rentmore, your combined 11 is a bit laughable. Xhaka and Party over no McFred. That's fine, mate. All 4 of them are... Party definitely over the other 2, by the way. And yeah, I'd go Xhaka over the other 2. I honestly would. That's fine. Listen, football's about opinions. We were allowed to disagree. I missed the actual original question, didn't I? Sorry. Let me go back and do that. Pick a starting 11 of players outside the traditional big 6. Right, okay, let's do that. Outside the top 6, I want Declan Rice in there. I want Calvin Phillips in there. I want Rafinha in there. Those are definites. I want Bruno Gomes in there. That's the midfield 3 sorted. That'd do well as a midfield 3. We'll have that. So we're going 4-3-3. That's covered that then. Do I want any Leicester? Let's go Jamie Vardy up front still, I think. I need wide forwards now, don't I? Jared Bowen. He can go in. Let's go Zaha. Go on. Have Wilf. Stick Zaha in there. Make your day. Defensively, goalkeeper. Let's go Jose Sarr. He's had a great season. Left back. Just for a bit of variety, I'm going to say Webster and Cody at centre back. God bright have missed Webster. Left back, I'm going to say I'm not in love with anything massively down. I'm going to say Aaron Cresswell. And right back, I'm going to say, when he's at his best, Ricardo Pereira. Hang on, I want Tielemans in here as well. We're going to have to play a diamond. Alright, sorry, I've got 12 players. Shit as it is, sorry. Right, let's get back into them. Oasis says, I hope Bruno gives us one return. Yeah, I just hope Arsenal don't win, mate. Camsey says it's really not. Partey and Xhaka are a much more reliable CM than anything United could put out. There you go. Rowan S says, who has a better chance of coming up from the Championship, Forest or Borough? I think Forest. Joe Finley Badder, I've also completed the current Prem set. Time to get relegated so I can tick off some more. Good luck, Joe. TJ Powell, who's the best Spurs one season wonder? Harry Kane, mate. You know that. That's what we kept getting told he was, anyway. Best one season wonder for Spurs. Klinsmann. 94, 95. I know he came back, but he was in for a season and went, so it's difficult to call him a wonder, though, when he was already world class. But that's what I'm going to go with. Lord Oishi says, fellow Lily White here, would you be happy with a Conte and Pochettino swap? No. No, I wouldn't. I think it's fairly obvious that if Conte goes, Pochettino will come back. And I have no problem with Maurizio coming back, but I don't think the timing is right. I'd rather it was further in the future. I don't think it's the right solution for Tottenham. I really, really don't. And I love Poch. I love Poch as much as the next Spurs fan. But no, I would rather Antonio Conte stayed. Max Rentmore says, Camsey, that's just not true with Fred's creativity. Matthew Locke. Board George Clooney, I'll take that as well. Bed Eddington saying Joe Pesci. Geo Lux says, hi James, got your answer just in time, less than a minute before update. Thanks again, great stream, you're very welcome, mate. Jonathan Brown, Cole Pilkington, yeah, I've had that one before, yeah. Camsey says, you don't need creativity in central midfield, you need discipline and Fred creativity, question. Wayne Thomas, I think, thinks that's funny. James Morgan says, as a Spurs fan, Oishi nope, happy with Conte as much as love Poch. He is immune to winning trophies. He's immune to winning trophies. I just think the Tottenham job's really tough at the moment because of the competitiveness of our league. Max Rentmore, that's fair enough, mate. Ian Parrin says, one per club. Saar, Livramento, yeah, that's a good shout. Dunk, Tarkovsky, Justin, Rice, Bruno G, Rafinha, Coutinho, Zaha, Pukki. We weren't a million miles away. James Morgan, Stefan Everson. No, mate. Horrendous. He was so awful, Everson. I won't have anyone tell me different, mate. One season wonder. It might have been like a 1 week wonder. Wayne Thomas says, do you think there's any truth to the Barnes benching rumour top work? Thanks. Well, Sam Martin tweeted it, and Sam has good information and good sources on Leicester, so we have to believe it. James Morgan, Postiga. I mean, he wasn't even a one-day wonder, mate. David Dobson says, hi James, do you think you are lucky with having a wife that's okay with you watching and attending so much football? Was the key to just say at the start that this is the way it will be? Yeah, mate, I wouldn't be with her otherwise. Straight. Long before I was with my wife, she knew everything about how I felt about Spurs. So, yeah. I couldn't live with someone who wouldn't let me have the one thing that I have in my life that's been a constant forever. So, no, Spurs has to be a part of my life. It's my drug. Well, Lane is my church. I cannot give it up. And I'd give up this job tomorrow if I had to. I cannot give up Tottenham. I'd give up her, but I can't now because I've got the boy. NT says, definitely Cole Pilkington. SK said, would love if Luton somehow make it to the Premier League. Rowan says, Ericsson to Spurs next season. Yes, could happen. Joe Morgan says, fair point. Lol, true. NT says, Bale was a half-season wonder on his return. Yeah, but that prick wouldn't let him play enough, would he? You know, Mr. Anti-Football. Right, that's it, guys. We'll leave it there. If you can support us on Patreon, we'd love to have you with us. www.patreon.com/Planet FPL. Hope your arrows are green. Remember, if you've got Manchester United and Chelsea assets, the game week goes on until Thursday. We should have a good week of content to come, especially with me being on Wildcard this week. Hope your arrows are green. Remember to be nice to each other, everyone. Have a great weekend. Come you Spurs. Ciao for now.